So next class, characteristics of series generator. Characteristics of a series generator. Definitely series generator is a self-excited generator. Okay, self-excited generators are classified into three: shunt generator, series generator and compound generator. We studied the characteristics of a shunt generator. The characteristics of a series generator is entirely different from that of the characteristics of a shunt generator. The reason is, in a DC shunt generator, shunt field winding is connected across the armature, whereas in series generator, series field winding is connected in series with the armature. The electrical characteristics of series field winding is entirely different from that of the shunt field winding. The difference is, shunt field winding consists of large number of turns of fine wire, whereas series field winding consists of thick wire, few turns. So electrically weaker winding is series field winding. Series field winding is electrically weaker because it has low resistance, because series field winding consists of thick wire, few turns. Even though this is a self-excited generator, even though our series generator is a self-excited generator, it cannot build up a voltage. It cannot build up a voltage when the field current is zero. When the field current is zero. In the case of a DC shunt generator, even if the field current is zero, there will be a residual magnetism. Due to that residual magnetism, an EMF is induced in the case of a shunt generator, which is not possible in the case of a series generator. In this series generator also there will be residual magnetism. What is meant by residual magnetism? The amount of magnetism retained in a material after the removal of magnetizing force. The amount of magnetism retained in a material after the removal of magnetizing force. Magnetizing force means current. Even if the current is zero, even if the current flow through the field winding is zero, it can create some flux. There exists some flux. Even if the field current is zero, some field exists in that machine. In this machine also, in the case of series generator also, even if the field current is zero, some flux exists. But that flux is produced by series field winding. Series field winding is electrically weaker. So that flux produced by the series field winding when the field current is zero, that is residual magnetism of series field winding is very weak. So this weak flux cannot create an induced EMF in the armature winding of a DC series generator. Therefore, if field current is zero, induced EMF in a series generator is zero. But in the case of shunt generator, even if the field current is zero, some EMF is induced in the armature of a DC shunt generator, because due to residual flux, shunt field winding can produce some flux. Due to that flux, an EMF is induced in the shunt generator. In the case of series generator, I am repeating, residual flux is there, but that residual flux is very, very weak, because our series field winding can create a feeble flux, a weak flux. Due to that weak flux, an EMF inducement is not possible in the case of a series generator. Therefore, field current is zero, induced EMF is zero. That is the main difference between series generator and a shunt generator. That is the main difference between series generator and shunt generator. In the case of shunt generator, when field current is zero, there will be some induced EMF. In the series generator, if the field current is zero, induced EMF is zero, which is shown in the graph. So there are three important characteristics as in the case of DC shunt generator. In this case also, there are three different characteristics. OCC, open circuit characteristics, curve 1. Internal characteristics, curve 2. That means E versus IA, where E is the induced EMF at loading condition versus armature current. External characteristics, V versus IA, terminal voltage versus load current. V versus IL, external characteristics shows the relation between V versus IL, terminal voltage versus load current. Internal characteristics is the curve between E versus IA. E means EMF induced under loading condition versus armature current. OCC means open circuit characteristics or magnetization area, which is the curve between E0 and IF. E0 is the EMF induced under no load condition and a field current. So in the case of a series generator, when field current is zero, even though some residual flux is there, due to that weak residual flux, an EMF inducement is not possible in the case of a series generator. Therefore, field current is zero, induced EMF is zero. No EMF due to residual magnetism will be available in the case of a series generator. No EMF due to residual magnetism will be available in the case of a series generator. There will be an EMF available due to residual magnetism in the case of a shunt generator. That is the main difference between OCC of a series generator and OCC of a Shunt generator, OCC, is also known as magnetization cara. OCC means open circuit characteristics, is also known as magnetization cara. So on x-axis there will be field current, on y-axis there will be induced EMF. Okay, so in the case of a series generator, same current is flowing through the armature, series field and load. Therefore IA is equal to ISC is equal to IL. So look at the figure. So in figure 1, armature winding, field winding and load are connected in series. Current flow through the armature is known as armature current. Current flowing through the series field is known as series field current. Current flowing through the load is known as load current. All the three are same. IA is equal to ISC is equal to IL. Okay, IA is equal to ISC means IF. IF is equal to ISC. Both are same because our series field is our series winding is our field. So IA is equal to IF or ISC is equal to IL. If IA is equal to 0, definitely ISC is equal to 0, definitely IL is equal to 0. So no EMF is induced in the case of a series generator. The reason I explained just a few minutes before. Okay, after that, when field current is when field current increases, IA increases, IF increases, IL increases. So flux, when IF increases, flux increases. This increased flux cuts the armature winding. Then an EMF is induced in the armature. When IF increases, flux again increases, then induced EMF also increases. And the graph is shown like this. OCC curve of a series generator is shown as in figure 2. When field increases gradually, induced EMF also increases gradually. The reason is, according to Faraday's first law of electromagnetic induction, whenever a conductor cuts the magnetic flux, an EMF is induced in the conductor. According to the second law, the magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkages. That means when field current increases, flux increases, definitely induced EMF also increases. When field current is 0, induced EMF is 0. Okay, so this is the open circuit characteristics or magnetization cara of a DC series generator. Then next one, second cara, internal cara. Internal characteristics is the curve between E versus IA. E means EMF under loading condition versus armature current. E versus IA as in figure 2. So curve 2 is the internal characteristics of a series generator which lies below the OCC. So OCC means E0 versus IF. E0 on y-axis, IF on x-axis. Internal cara is the curve between E versus IA. E is on y-axis, IA is on x-axis. So definitely internal cara lies below the OCC. The reason is E is less than E0. E0 is the EMF under no load condition. E is the EMF under loading condition. So when loaded, there will be a drop in voltage from E0 to E. That drop is due to armature reaction. Therefore, internal cara lies below the OCC. I am explaining once again. Internal cara is the curve between E versus IA. OCC is the curve between E0 versus IF. So E0 versus IF OCC, E versus IA internal cara. Definitely E is less than E0, where E is the EMF under loading condition, where E0 is the EMF under no load condition. So when a generator is not loaded, the voltage induced EMF decreases from E0 to E. So no load EMF E0, EMF at loading condition E. The drop takes place from E0 to E due to the armature reaction effect. Therefore, internal cara lies below OCC, which is explained in this slide. Okay, OCC is the curve plotted between no load EMF E0 and field current IF as shown by the curve 1 in figure 2. Internal characteristics is the curve plotted between generated EMF on load E and armature current IA and is shown by the curve 2 in figure, which lies below the OCC due to the effect of armature reaction. I explained all those things. Then what about external cara? It is the curve between V versus IL, terminal voltage versus load current, V versus IL. That means curve 3 of figure 2. External characteristic curve 3 in figure 2, which is the curve between which shows the relation between terminal voltage V and load current IL, which lies below internal cara. The reason is internal chara is the curve between E versus Ia. External chara is the curve between V versus IL. Definitely V is less than E because of armature resistance and field resistance drop. So V is less than E due to IaRa plus Ia into Rse. So because of the voltage drops in armature winding and series field winding, V is less than E. Therefore external chara lies below internal chara. Internal chara lies below OCC. The reason is OCC is the curve between E0 and IF. Internal chara is the curve between E versus Ia. So E is less than E0 due to armature reaction drop. That means E0 minus armature reaction drop is equal to E. Therefore curve 2 lies below curve 1. E minus voltage drop in armature minus voltage drop in series field is equal to terminal voltage. E minus voltage drop in armature minus voltage drop in series field is equal to V. Therefore external chara lies below the internal chara in figure 2. So there are three charas: OCC, internal chara and external chara. I think this part is clear. So external characteristics is the relation between terminal voltage V and load current IL as shown by the curve 3 in figure 2. External characteristic curve will lie below the internal characteristic curve by an amount equal to armature voltage drop Ia into Ra plus Rs in the machine as shown in figure 2. I think this part is clear. Next, characteristics of a compound generator. So we discussed the characteristics of a series generator. The next one, compound generator. Okay, in a compound generator there are two field windings, series field winding and shunt field winding. In a shunt generator there is only one field winding. In a series generator there is only one field winding, which is nothing but series field. In the case of compound machine there will be shunt field and a series field. A compound generator is classified into two: long shunt compound and a short shunt compound. Okay, long shunt compound and a short shunt compound. Okay, what is the difference between these two? In a long shunt compound, armature and series field are in series. That combination is connected across the shunt field winding in the case of a long shunt compound generator, whereas in the case of a short shunt compound generator, shunt field winding is connected in parallel with the armature, or shunt field winding is shorted with the armature. That parallel combination is connected in series with the series field. Therefore that type of generator is known as short shunt compound generator. These long shunt compound generators are further classified into cumulative compound and differential compound. All these things I explained in the previous classes. So compound generators are classified into long shunt compound and short shunt compound. Long shunt compound generators are again classified into, unless stated otherwise, compound generators are understood as long shunt compound generators. For the compound generators, you have to understand it is long shunt compound generators. Okay, short shunt compound generators are rarely used. Short shunt compound generators are rarely used. The compound generators are classified into cumulative compound and differential compound. What is the difference between cumulative compound and differential compound? In a cumulative compound generator, series field, the flux produced by series field winding helps or aids the flux produced by shunt field winding. Resultant flux increases, generated EMF increases in the case of a cumulative compound generator. But in the case of a differentially compound generator, flux produced by shunt field winding opposes the flux produced by series field winding opposes the flux produced by shunt field winding. The resultant flux decreases, induced EMF decreases. That is differentially compound generator. This is the classification of compound generator. So compound generators are classified into long shunt and short shunt. Long shunt is again classified into cumulative and differential compound. Normally a compound generator is understood as cumulative compound generator. Normally a compound, unless stated otherwise, a compound generator is understood as long shunt compound generator. Unless stated otherwise, a long shunt compound generator is understood as a cumulative compound generator. പ്രത്യേകിച്ചൊന്നും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ വെറുതെ ഒരു compound generator എന്ന് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ definitely it will be a cumulative compound generator. So this cumulative compound generator, that means long shunt compound generators, is again classified into three: over compound generator, flat compound generator, under compound generator. What is the difference between over compound, flat compound, under compound? What is the difference between these three? So look at the figure. There are two figures, figure 1 and figure 2. In figure 2 there are three charas: over compounded, under compound, flat compounded, under compounded. Okay, so what is the difference between these three that we are going to discuss? Okay, in an over compound machine, definitely this is a long shunt compound machine. Definitely this is a long shunt compound machine. There will be series field winding and shunt field winding is there. The number of turns of series field windings are provided in such a way that when load increases, load current increases, series field current increases, or flux produced by series field ampere turns increases, which increases the total flux produced by the generator. Therefore, induced EMF increases than that of a terminal voltage. That means induced EMF is greater than the terminal voltage. Then that generator is known as over compound generator. Okay. What about flat compound generator? The series field turns are provided in such a way that when load current increases, even though the terminal voltage will remain constant in the case of a flat compound generator. So, series field ampere turns are designed in such a way that when load current increases, series field current doesn't increase as in the case of our compound generator. So, flux is almost constant and therefore terminal voltage is almost constant. So, terminal voltage doesn't increase. In the case of our compound generator, series field windings are designed in such a way that when load current increases, series field current can create more flux. Resultant flux produced by the generator increases. Induced EMF increases than that of the terminal voltage. In an over compound generator, generated voltage is greater than the terminal voltage. So dotted line shows the terminal voltage. In an over compound generator, generator voltage is greater than the terminal voltage. In a flat compound machine, the generated voltage is almost equal to terminal voltage. Whereas in under compound generator, the series field ampere turns are designed in such a way that when load current increases, flux produced by the series field turns decreases, resultant flux decreases, generated voltage is less than the terminal voltage. Such type of generator is called under compound generator. This is the difference between over compound, flat compound and under compound generator. Okay, so compound generator means there are two field windings, shunt field winding and series field winding. So armature winding is provided in the rotor. Both field windings are provided in the stator. Compound generators are broadly classified into long shunt compound and short shunt compound. Long shunt is again classified into cumulative compound and differential compound. There are three types of cumulative compound generators, or in roughly we can say long shunt compound generators: over compounded generator, flat compounded generator, under compound generator. In the case of an over compound generator, I am repeating, the series field ampere turns are designed in such a way that it can create more flux when load increases. In the case of flat compound generator, the flux remains constant even though the load increases. In the case of under compound generator, flux produced by series field ampere turns decreases when load increases. Okay, when load increases, flux produced by series field ampere turns more. In the case of over compound generator, flux produced by series field ampere turns is almost constant. In the case of a flat compound generator, flux produced by series field ampere turns decreases when load increases. In the case of an under compound generator, therefore more voltage will be developed in the over compound generator than that of terminal voltage. Generator voltage is almost equal to terminal voltage in the case of a flat compound generator. Terminal voltage will be less than in the case of an terminal generator voltage is less than the terminal voltage in the case of an under compound generator. Thus, there are three generators. All these things explained in these last two slides. If the series field ampere turns are so adjusted that with increase in load current, terminal voltage increases, it is called over compound generator. If series field ampere turns are so adjusted that with increase in load current, terminal voltage remains constant, it is called a flat compound generator. Terminal voltage remains constant means flux produced by series field ampere turns remains constant. If a series field has lesser number of turns than that of a flat compound machine, the terminal voltage falls when increase in load, as indicated by curve C. Such a machine is called under compound generator. So number of series field ampere turns are more in the case of over compound generator. Number of turns of a flat compound generator is less than over compound generator. Number of turns of a under compound generator is less than that of a flat compound generator. Therefore, when load increases, Flux produced by series milliampere turns is more in the case of over compound. Flux remains constant in the case of a flat compound generator. Flux produced by series milliampere turns decreases in the case of an under compound generator. Okay. Then what about the characteristics of a compound generator? OCC and internal characteristics is same as that of a DC shunt generator. OCC, open circuit characteristics, are internal characteristics of a compound generator is almost, compound generator means long shunt compound generator is almost same as that of a shunt generator. What about external characteristics of a compound generator? Compound generator means long shunt compound generator. Long shunt compound generators. So OCC and internal characteristics are same as that of a shunt generator. External characteristics of a compound generator. So please listen. External characteristics of a cumulative compound generator as shown in the figure that we discussed, like over compound generator, flat compound generator, and under compound generator. So these discussions are in the last two slides. Okay. So internal and OCC characteristics of a compound generator is same as that of a shunt generator, but external characteristics are different. So external characteristics are different according to the number of turns of series field winding. According to the number of turns of series field winding, cumulative compound generators are classified into three: over compound generator, flat compound generator, and under compound generator. So difference occurs only in the case of external characteristics curve. There is no change in the characteristics of internal and OCC. Okay. So once again, compound generators are classified into two: long shunt and short shunt. Long shunt is again classified into cumulative and differential. Cumulative is again classified into three: under compound, flat compound, and over compound. So external characteristics of a compound generator depends according to the number of turns of cumulative compound generator. That means according to the category of flat compound or over compound or under compound, external characteristics are different, which I explained in this class. Okay, I think it is clear.